Hello, this is my batch load rocket stove slash cook stove and a few other things. Right now you're looking at a very hot fire. It's casting a lot of heat out of there. This batch box is about the size of an 8-inch rocket stove system, but I've actually got this going into a 6-inch porthole system, and it's consistently 6-inch until it gets to the top of the riser, and then it probably goes to a 7, 8, maybe even a 9, and then it comes back down to a 6-inch again. So lots of issues, lots of things that are not proper on this build. It's basically thrown together. I didn't like to put a whole lot of time in it until I could prove to myself that it would work. Example, mortaring and lots of brick. And so, but as you can see, with all the imperfections, and we're talking, you know, the brick's not tight. I didn't really use a whole lot of mortar. In the event I had to take it back apart without busting up a lot of brick. But I have a lot of leaks. Maybe not so much on this side, but the system is just not very tight. There, that'll give you a good example right there. And there's others like that, basically all over, especially around the top of the brick here. I just have rock wool jammed in there to temporarily help to seal off the top of the heat riser. That what you see there is not smoke, so no panics. That's actually steam coming off my old copper reservoir off of a traditional cook stove, which helps to keep the humidity at a nice level in here. So anyway, we have, in spite of all the wrong things, or things that aren't so much right, I have an extremely good draw, putting out extreme amounts of heat right here. My firebox is very, very hot. I apologize, I cannot tell you how hot, because I don't have any kind of thermometer set up yet, or fancy heat gun there to tell you the temperature. So, but hope to get one soon. So, our fire goes. The heat riser is here. Just used cement building blocks, or center blocks as some call them. A piece of 1/4-inch steel on top, which bows like a banana when she gets really hot. And but that's going to be changed. That's actually where our pizza oven is going to sit. And anyway, on the top we do we multitask. Kettle, 10-inch cast iron skillet, another pan. So instead of traditionally the fire coming up, hitting the top of the riser and going down into what would be the barrel, which would radiate the heat more effectively, I put a stop about here down where insulated solid, so that I can keep the inside of that, basically the inside of the flue or burn chamber, very hot. I'm exhausting it over this way, down on the other side of this brick, and then underneath that brick, and underneath this other plate that I took off the cook stove, which also is a secondary cooking area, which I just actually cooked my eggs this morning on it. Also boils water here. And then I just have this temporarily attached in my cooking area, and it goes straight up and out, up a 6-inch double-walled pipe. So the only thing I'm lacking here that I would have liked to at least experiment with on this stove is my hot water, which I don't have it attached to this just yet. But I'm trying to get this to burn where where I like it, tweak it before I add more to it. So I'll be taking off this cooktop here, and I'll be building an oven on top of here, a brick oven. And then down here I'm going to be making a bigger cook surface area. Right now this is just very small. You can see this is a small pan. And then I plan to also be putting in a water jacket or pipe for my hot water, which I've done successfully with my traditional box stove. But this will be my first time doing it with a rocket stove. And I don't know what you'd call this. This would be like a rocket stove, pizza oven, cook stove, water heater, batch load, fireplace. You can call it whatever you like. I did have a box stove hooked up in here, and doing this, it's reduced my wood consumption to half. My box stove will heat a 3,000 square foot house, so it's a pretty big box stove. And of course, you fire it, it's too hot, and then it gets cold fast. But with this, I've reduced my wood consumption to about half, and it maintains the heat for over 12 hours. You can literally come here 12 hours later after the fire is completely gone out and still put your hand on top of this heat riser and still like warm things and stuff. So we're still maintaining a fair amount of heat, even though I don't have a proper thermal mass set up. So anyway, just thought I'd show that to you, and for you out there who are experimenting and doing things, just do it. You know, yeah, there might be better ways to do things and proper ways to do things, but you get the basic idea, the basic concepts, and just play with it. And I mean, look at my setup, and then you can tell that I'm just experimenting too. So, all right.